Nice. That's a great answer. And I just want to know, is Russia is an expensive country in a sense of cost of living? Like, what are the rent charges or food charges? So, have you faced any kind of issues in renting or
Uh,
food? Yeah.
for renting, there's one good thing. I live in university dormitory, and university dormitory is really, really cheap. It's
Okay.
I think it's even cheaper than the hostels in India, if I'm not wrong. So it's really, really cheap. So that's one really good thing. And this dormitory where I stay in, it's a special dormitory for foreign students. So the condition is really good. There is security, and like it's well maintained, and there is cleanliness, there's hygiene. So it's really good. And for cost of living, I think I am in St. Petersburg. This is one like the second biggest city in Russia after Moscow. So yes, cost of living is bit higher than Delhi especially when it comes to food items. And I think there's a reason, because as you know that in winters, first of all, they do not grow many vegetables, so you will not find many varieties. And second, in winters, it's really hard to find vegetables because like stock is less, because like it's minus 16, minus 18, so it's really really cold. So yes, some vegetables really get expensive in winter, and it's a bit hard if you do not have some financial support. But if I compare like in a whole year, like combine like in summer and winter, because in summer it gets really, really cheap. Like all the vegetables which were like skyrocketing in price, now they are like, okay, this is even cheaper than Delhi. So in overall, I think it's affordable. Like you can stay if you have some if you can do a part-time job, like only part-time. I suggest only part-time. Do not your first goal is to study, so do not do a full-time job and just neglect your studies because you came here to study. So if you can find a part-time job, you can do that part-time job, and I think the money you will get is sufficient enough to live in the city. So I don't think I faced any problems, because like I said, in overall in whole year, and like some months get expensive, then other months get less expensive. So it's okay, it's average. Like it's same, I think, in if I would be staying in New Delhi.
And are you missing the Indian food? Yeah, from there. So yeah, you
Yes.
can. Are there any Indian restaurants in Russia where you can?
Yes, there are Indian restaurants in Russia, but I would like not to say anything about them, because what's the thing about Indian restaurant is like Indian restaurants outside India are not Indian restaurants,
Agree.
because they are catering to that country specially, because they cannot cook really spicy food, because nobody in that country will eat it. They cannot add too many flavors, or like they have to make it that the people of this country can eat. So Indian restaurants here are not Indian. I have tried some Indian restaurants. They are, I would say, okay. So I actually miss Indian food because I cannot find also all the spices. I can find only some spices, and here they do not eat spicy food. They have their own like food culture, so they do not eat spicy food, and I miss spicy food. I cook every, like we have a kitchen and all the necessary, like we have a stove and we have oven, so everything is given to us. So I cook, but still in like home food is home food. I cannot cook the same as my mom does.
Yeah, that's true. So, moving on to the another question. So, what makes Literary different from other colleges? What is the difference between Indian education system as compared to the Russian education system? So, yeah.
Okay, yes, it's a really good question. What's the difference in education system? Okay, I will start from bachelor's first. So here in Russia, in bachelor's, like in India, in bachelor's, like we have some different, like we do in DU, a 3-year degree, or in a BTech, a 4-year degree. So here they have one common, like they call it just bachelor's. They do not have like bachelor of technology or bachelor of this, but they have just like bachelor's in either radio technology, in computer science, in telecommunication, or in whatever. And it's a 4-year degree. difference is that even if you are studying a technical subject, it's more focused on research. Like they really focus on research, they really focus on thinking part. Like they are more concerned in like, okay, you get this, okay, you have this device. First of all, they will focus on why this device came into existence, then how it works, and how you can make this device on your own. So they have this mentality. And also in here in bachelor's, in final years of your bachelor's, you have to write a bachelor thesis. It's compulsory for everyone. You have to write a bachelor thesis in your final semester. You pick a topic, and it could be any topic. You pick a topic, you write your bachelor thesis, and you have to defend this bachelor thesis like you do in PhD. You have to defend this bachelor thesis, and if you defend it, if it's good, and if the committee says okay, it's good and we pass it, then only you will graduate. Otherwise they will not let you graduate. So that's a really big difference which I found when I got to know. Also in here, like I think starting from second year till fourth year, what they do is every year, every semester, they pick one topic and they write term papers on one particular topic. So basically they are forcing themselves to do research more, to find out more. And in their term paper, they have like the theoretical part and the practical part. So they are like, there's a bit change in mentality of what we study in India and how they study here. And for the masters also, it's the same process. In masters also, we had like 3 semesters of like hardcore going through the first the theoretical part, okay, why it works, how it works, and why it is only like this. And then at the same time the practical part, okay, how can you use it and how should you use it, and if you did it like this, what will happen, if you did it like this, what will happen. So like 3 semesters of hardcore, like you have to brainstorm with all the subjects, and some of the subjects are really hard. I will not deny, some of the subjects are really hard. And then in final semester, like me, I'm right now in final semester, I have to pick a topic and write my thesis. So I think that's a difference in here and in India, because I think in India, in masters also, we do not write a master thesis. As far as I know, I think in MTech, I am not sure if you write master thesis in MTech or in MSc in like this MSc in University of Delhi also. So we do not write any thesis. And here also in masters and in bachelors also, they give you opportunities to publish your paper. So in LETI is affiliated with IEEE. So every year there are some IEEE conferences which happens in my university, and you can apply. They actually they suggest you you should apply, even if it's a really short paper, even if it's just a concept, you should apply, because it will give you exposure. So you can apply. And also which I found out recently, they have one good thing. They have every year conference for young researchers, for every researcher in whole Russia, even if you're a foreign student or Russian student. So they have a conference for young researchers, where again they say that it does not have to be a really full-fledged paper. No, even if it's just a concept, even if it's just an idea, even if it's something new you think is worthwhile sharing, just write a paper for 4 pages, just write paper for 4 pages and publish it, because it will give you an exposure. So I find this bit different, because when I was in bachelor's, we were just focused on studying and just giving exams. Yes, there were some other opportunities, but it was not it was on our own that we were picking this. It was not suggested, and here it is no, you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to do it. So it's a bit different here. And as for what makes LETI different from other universities, I don't think I don't know how to answer this, because I think all the universities are quite same, except for the subjects that they teach, because there are some masters courses here which are more specialized. There's one famous university here, ITMO. It's quite famous in whole Russia, and they have one master's degree in web development. They have master's degree in web development. They have master's degree in system engineering, if I'm not wrong, in system engineering. Then they had in software engineering. So I think only the subject differs. Rest, I think they have the similar concept. In 3 years you do study. and you write maybe publish a paper, or maybe you work, and then in last year you have to write a thesis and defend the thesis. So I think it's similar.
That's great. If I talk about my college, all the students are focused on marks. कि हमें marks चाहिए. But in other countries, the one thing is good कि they are research oriented. They want कि हाँ students should research on different fields. So that's the good point. So any advice to the Indian students which are currently in their bachelors? So any piece of advice would you like to give to all of us?
Okay, before that advice, since you mentioned exams, I will tell you how I give exams. This is actually like, when I got to know, it was really surprising for me. I didn't expect this at all, because for me as an Indian student who has done like till bachelor's in India, what we do is we study, we have a full timetable, and we give exams and write and everything. My exams, I am not joking. My exams, we do not have like this strict schedule, like okay, this whole month of this separate dates, so you have to come and you will get a question paper and you have to write exams. No. First of all, you do not have exam for all the subjects. For some subjects, it just basically research, like the term paper you write and the assignments you do. That's all. And for the subjects, you have exams. How it goes? You go there. The teacher will give you maybe some questions, and you have to just solve them. And you get time. Like you get time to prepare at that moment only. Like you can use all the resources you have. Like they will give you a question paper. Like for example, how is it for my mathematics exam? Algorithmic mathematics. So the professor was like, okay, so we studied the whole semester, and whole semester we had some tasks. Obviously, like we study in class, and then at the home we do some tasks like assignments. So my professor was like, these are the concepts we will study. We went to the class, and he said that, okay, tomorrow is your exam. I will only ask you questions on these 3 concepts or 4 concepts. Just prepare this 4 concepts. No need to prepare the whole syllabus. 4 concepts, 4 questions. That's all. Come prepared with this 4 concepts. That's all you need. We went there. We started solving. It was just 4 concepts. We started solving. We solved. Obviously, algorithmic mathematics is just like, okay, I am not ready for this. Like in my first semester, I was like, I am not ready for this. So it was a bit hard. So we started giving exam, and we wrote the answers, and obviously we didn't complete it because it was hard. So he checked it, and he graded, like he gave marks based on like how we did, but how we graduated, like how we got the marks for this subject was not based on what answer you wrote or if it is correct or not. No, he was like, okay, you wrote this, you made some mistake here, but I can see that you know the concept. Okay, so doesn't matter if your answer is wrong, I know you know the concept. For some other question, he was like, okay, here it looks a bit tricky, I think you do not know the concept. So he will ask, okay, do you know the concepts? Can you tell me what's the concept? And then you were like, okay, this is the concept. He was like, okay, you are a bit tricky, so you need to prepare this, and you can come again on one week or in 2 weeks, and let's focus on this concept. We will focus on this concept. Concept is clear, pass. That's all. Oh, like, what? That's not how we do exam. Like, we do not get second opportunity, third opportunity within this week. I was like, no. It's like, are you not joking? Like, this is not you're not pranking us. I was like, so my first semester, I was like really surprised. And so getting back to your question, what advice? My advice is, do not focus that much on your marks. Okay, your grades are important. I won't deny your grades are important. Like, I think maintain a line. Okay, maybe you can maintain 7.5 or 8. Like overall, 7.5 or 8. That's more than enough, because when you will apply to this university, they will look only like they have a criteria. So if you have more than 7.5 or 8, it's really good. And if you want to focus on grades, then what you can do is, like, instead of just memorizing the everything, maybe pick one or 2 subjects which you really like and prepare that, not for exam. Do not prepare it for exam. Prepare it that like you are gonna use it, like your life depends on it. preparation. Forget about exam, forget about the score you will get in exam. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Like even if you get a 8 and not a 10, nothing will happen. Even in companies, like I did many internships, I am doing a job right now. They do not care. They do not care how much grade you have. They will say, okay, so you graduated and you had above 7.5. Enough. That's enough for them. And now many companies are also like going, like they are changing. So I have seen many companies, they do not even look at your mark sheet. They just look, okay, you graduated, that's all, okay, you can start working. We do not care how much you got in your operating system or how much you got in data structure. Doesn't matter. So do not focus on your grades. But do not take my advice wrongly. Do not just like give up. No, grades are important, but they are like, there are other things which are more important than grades. You should understand the concept. Do not just memorize it for your exam. Understand the concepts and focus on, if you want to do job, then start focusing on finding internships and maybe practice your algorithm skills or maybe practice your coding skills. Participate in hackathons. Participate in, I think your college has the group, Google Developers Group. Yes, participate in this sort of groups. If there is an opportunity in your college, participate. I cannot emphasize, just participate in all of this. Participate in hackathons and if you want to go in academics, do research, as much research as you can do. It doesn't have to be like a groundbreaking research. It doesn't have to be like something totally new. No, you can start small. You can talk to your professors. Okay, ma'am, I'm interested in research, because most of your professors are like in academics, so they are doing research. So you can just like, ma'am, I'm interested in research, or sir, I'm interested in research. Are you working on some topic, or are you working on some research? Can I also help you, even if it's just little? Do this, because you have to slowly build. You cannot expect, okay, what most student does is they forget that when they graduate, these marks will only give them, okay, they will enter the job. Okay, you got this marks and okay, you are a really high-fi student, you got all 10s and you're like outstanding in your grade. You got the job, but these marks will not help you there. What will help you is all these experiences, all this participation, all these extra things. So my advice is participate in this extracurricular and focus, like, okay, study to get good grades, but do not focus totally on grades. Grades are important, but they are not the only thing in your bachelor's. Like, do other stuff also.
In my college, there are not an international students, मतलब बहुत ही कम students होते हैं international के. So but compared to abroad, there you find students from different nationality, races, background. So what did you learn while interacting with those students?
I think in my class I have I think only 2 Russian students, and rest of us are, I think, outsiders. So I think in my class there are students. I'm from India, from Nepal, one more guy from India. I think from Middle East there are some students. Okay, to be honest, even I do not know where all of them come from, but there are many international students. So what I learned is that when I started talking to them, I got to know that first of all, every country has a different way of education. Like every country has like totally different education system, which I knew it, but it was a bit like when I got to know it, it was a bit hard to accept it. I was like, that doesn't sound cool, like, because I'm used to mine. So I was like, does it work? So I had this question. So, but yes, every country has different education system, and some have like really good, some have like they are still improving. So that was one thing. Second thing I learned, especially in my class, was that all of the students in my class were actually really experienced when it comes to something else. Like in my class, there are some students who have been working in industry for I think 5 or 6 years. Like they are like full professionals. Then there are some in my class who have done like full-fledged research. Like they are, I would call them a researcher because they have they have published research papers, and they have been working in this research field for quite a long time, and they have their name in the research industry. research field. And then there are some other students who maybe not that there are some students who are not in CS but in some other field, and they were really like experienced in that field, and now they are switching to CS. So it's also good to see like how they are coping up and why did they decide to go for CS. So I learned quite a lot of things, and the biggest lesson I learned is how to say it? The biggest lesson would be that when you meet, like when you're in an environment like this, you should interact as much as possible. Like interact with everyone, like got to know them, what is their story and why are they here, why did they decide here, because you will learn something new with each and every person. And it's also important to interact because you are in a foreign country. They are also in a foreign country, they are also foreigners, so you have to like interact to stay together. Otherwise it gets a bit lonely if you are just sitting on your own and they are your classmates. So interact, because how they say in CS field that the more connections you have, the better opportunities you get. So you never know, maybe one of your friends from your class from master's degree will get you a job in some other country. You never know. So just interact and stay connected.
Nice. So what are your future plans after completing your masters? So do you have any future plans right now?
Yes, my plan is to, like I said, I want to become a researcher. I want to go in academia. So my plan is to do PhD. I'm looking for PhDs. I'm applying for PhDs. I'm following the same process which I told you for masters. Create a table, list all the universities and do my research. So I'm doing all this for PhD. So my plan is to pursue a PhD, but I am not in a hurry. Like it's not like I just want to do. So I am like open to both job and PhD. So I'm looking for both. So if I get into a good PhD and if I like a PhD program which I really like or which I really want to enroll in, then obviously I'll go into the PhD. And if not, then I will wait and I will do some industry work and work as like I'm working as a machine learning engineer. So continuing machine learning because I'm interested in machine learning, and continue in machine learning, and after some years then apply again. So that's my future plan. I'm open to both job or PhD.
Nice. I just want to know, is there any future scope? Is there any scope of job opportunities in Russia? Like in India, there are lots of tech job opportunities. So are there any good top opportunities in Russia?
Yes, in Russia also tech industry is quite like growing really fast. So they have many. I think more than India they have opportunities. Biggest reason why in India we have a huge population. Here population is not that big. So there's like shortage of developers or shortage of people who do in CS, because here there's one more thing. Not everyone is like going into CS. They have many people who do radio technology. Radio technology is quite famous here. Telecommunication is really famous here. Art schools are really famous here. There are many art schools and there are many artists here. So they like in India, how we do it, like everyone goes to, it's not here. Yeah, bhed chal. So it's not here. There is no bhed chal here. Everyone is free to do whatever they like. And also there here in bachelor there is like how we give exam for, I think, for IITs, but they also give exam, but it's not for like special university. It's a common exam for every university. So they will give exam, and if they score good, then the university or the Russian government pays for their bachelors. They do not have to pay anything. So what they do, and before giving exam, you have to choose the subjects, and based on the subjects that you give exam for, you can apply. For example, if you chose mathematics, computer science and physics, then you can apply for these three. Like you can apply to study physics, you can apply to study mathematics, or you can apply to study computer science. If you give exam for let's say English, maths, or maybe I think political science, then you can study language, political science, humanities, like this. So there are many opportunities here. So not everyone is focused on CS. That's why there are many opportunities in tech industry. And also they have many big companies. The biggest company here is, I don't know if you know this, is Yandex. Do you know about Yandex?
think
Okay,
I
so
heard the name, but I don't know what basically it's doing. So,
Yandex is the Google of Russia.
okay, nice.
They are the biggest company in Russia, and they have everything. They have a search engine, they have a web browser, they have their own transportation, they have their own email, they have basically everything. Everything that you can think of in tech, they have this. So Yandex is the biggest company here. So there's Yandex, then there is here Microsoft is here. I think Google is also here. So there are some big companies. So yes, there's lots of opportunity in tech here.
Nice. Now moving to our last question. So I have an interesting question for you. Like, if you get a chance to get back to your bachelor's, then what sort of things would you like to do which you haven't done at that time? So
Oh, if I can go back and like have do my bachelor's again, what I would do is first I would focus more on research. Not from my final year, because I did research. I published a paper in my final year, but not in final year. I would start from the first semester. First this. Second is I would try to improve the skills that I am lacking, which I had that like time. I had time in bachelor's, but I didn't do it because like all of you guys, I was also focused on like getting my scores, like getting marks. I realized it, like I think after second semester I like, okay, maybe marks is not the only thing which I should do. So I would like take my time and utilize this time to improve my skills. And third is maybe participate more in hackathons, participate more in extracurricular activities. I did some, but I think I could have done more and it would have helped me. So I would like to do these things, but the biggest one would be to research like from the beginning and research more, because since I am going into researcher and going to academics, so I think that would really help me if I start from a really early age.
definitely. So yeah, thank you so much, Yash, for joining on our podcast show. So I believe that this session will help a lot of students to find their career if they want to go for any foreign studies. So yeah, thank you so much, and it's a great
Thank you for having me.
episode. Yeah. So I will
Thank
link
you for
all your
having me.
I will link all your handles on the social on description. So all the listeners and the viewers who are watching or listening, you can connect with Yash on the social media platforms. So yeah, and we will have another session in upcoming months. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Before going, one last piece of advice. I said all of this and it was a bit heavy. My last piece of advice is take this all in mind, but do not forget about your mental health. Take care of your physical health and your mental health. Do not take too much pressure. Do not take too much tension. Everything will work out. So relax. Do not take too much mental pressure and just take care of your health, especially in this time when we are stuck home. And I know it's hard. So take care of your physical health. Take care of your mental health, and just you have talent, you have opportunities. Just go for it. That's my final piece of advice for you.
Yash, there is a follow-up question. Are you doing any kind of meditation, or yeah, any kind of, are you a spiritual guy? Matlab, any kind of meditation you do? Like in my daily life, I do around 15-minute meditation to calm my mind. So are you doing any kind of this?
I not exactly meditation, but when I feel stressed or when I feel okay, this is too much, I cannot handle it. What I do is I just go out for a walk. So here there are many, like one good thing about the city is there are many parks, like many big parks and like proper parks. Like I would not even call them parks; they are forests. So
Nice.
I just go for a walk and like just alone, silent my phone and just walk and look around, look at the trees or maybe look at the birds. So there are many birds here. So look at the birds and just sit in the sun and just relax. So when I get stressed, I do this. So this is my meditation.
Yeah, that's great. Nice. So yeah, thank you so much, Yash. I believe that the session will definitely help a lot of students. Yeah.